Today's like goal is 5,000 likes, and we're so close to hitting 300K subs. So please make sure to subscribe. We need all the support to keep bringing videos like this to you. All right, let's continue. The episode opens with a black wolf, cloaked in a red cape and bearing a sly, almost taunting smile. Facing him, we find our silver wolf chief, Alka, who sits huddled beneath a larger, imposing warrior wolf, clearly rattled and uncertain of who this towering black wolf could be. Just then, Alko and Alki rush over, breathlessly informing their chief that, despite searching everywhere, they couldn't locate Theo and Iona. Even so, Alka remains braced for a fight. At that moment, however, Alko, Alka's trusted subordinate, charges toward his chief, oblivious to the intimidating figure of the black warrior wolf. Once he finally notices, Alko freezes, mouth agape, unable to comprehend the looming presence before him. Both he and Alka stare in disbelief, as if trying to piece together how and why this black wolf had come to be here. Alka mutters his confusion, openly admitting he has no idea why this black wolf stands in their path. But whatever the case, they have to find a way to prevent Oren's escape. Just then, the black wolf, his voice dripping with hostility, breaks the tense silence. He sneers at the Silver Wolf group, mocking their presence on this floor. "Why are the Silver Wolves here?" he demands, his tone unwavering. "What do you want?" Meanwhile, Oren, trembling and desperate, drops to his knees and clasps his hands together, looking up at the black wolf with teary eyes. Pretending to be frightened and helpless, Oren begs for the black wolf's protection, swearing he has no idea who the black wolf might be. But he's willing to offer a fortune if only the wolf would keep him safe from the Silver Wolves. He adds, trying to sound convincing, that his father is the wealthiest merchant around. If the black wolf helps him, he'll reward him handsomely. The black wolf, still maintaining his deep and menacing tone, rises onto his hind legs and glances sidelong at Oren, telling him to leave immediately. "I'll handle these Silver Wolves myself," he assures him, voice low and calm. Elated, Oren bolts away without a second thought, babbling promises to relay the black wolf's help to his father and pay whatever amount necessary. The black wolf merely watches, letting him go without a word. Back with the Silver Wolves, Alka and his followers can only stand in stunned silence as they watch Oren's retreating figure. Their jaws drop as they struggle to make sense of the scene unfolding before them. Enraged, Alka finally snaps, turning his glare on the black wolf, urging him to step aside. They can't let Oren escape. If he gets away, it could spell trouble for them all. Yet the black wolf doesn't budge, his stance solid as a mountain. In response, he calmly informs Alka that Oren is indeed the sole heir of the wealthiest merchant in the area, and he was sent by Oren's father specifically to escort him to safety. Alka, already fuming from watching Oren slip away, grows even more frustrated as the black wolf explains his mission. Furious, he growls at the black wolf, warning him to move or risk being attacked. But the black wolf merely laughs, a hearty mocking sound, as he rises to his full height, now towering 3 times over Alka, claws glinting in the dim light, each as large as a blade. The black wolf, smirking, challenges Alka. "Go ahead," he sneers, "take a swing. But remember, we black wolves are the strongest among all wolf clans in the tower. You're no match for me." With a cocky grin, he announces himself with a booming voice. "I'm Harp, right-hand wolf of Hygel, the Black Wolf clan leader. I could tear through 3 silver wolves like you without breaking a sweat." His laughter fills the air, practically daring Alka to make a move. Just as Harp is about to continue, a sudden blinding flame erupts around him, its intensity scorching his black fur until he's reduced to a crisp shell of himself. Harp barely has a chance to react before he collapses to the ground, body singed beyond recognition, tongue lolling out. It looks as though Harp's reign has come to an abrupt end. From a safe distance, Alka and his subordinates gawk in horror, unable to process what just happened to the mighty black wolf. That's when Iona appears, wielding a staff, calm and composed as she approaches Alka. She explains nonchalantly that Harp was simply an annoyance, and she took it upon herself to deal with him. Iona asks Alka if she overstepped, but Alka assures her that the black wolf was no ally of his. Just then, Theo catches up, looking around frantically. He asks Alka if he's seen Oren fleeing the scene, worry etched across his face. Afterward, Elka explained to Theo how Oren was just about to make his escape and how Elka was ready to catch him until that black warrior, Wolf, intervened, letting Oren slip away. Theo, still puzzled, asked why Elka was there. After all, Elka was supposed to be on the 99th floor, delivering the red locust to SEO June. Elka clarified that indeed he had completed the delivery and then descended to the 67th floor to look for both Iona and Theo, only to learn along the way that they too had come to this floor. So as he was searching, Elka spotted Oren fleeing, and the rest of the story, as Theo knew, played out from there. Iona, not wanting to waste time, interrupted their conversation. She reminded them that the story could wait. What mattered now was catching Oren. Theo and Elka nodded in agreement, and Theo then asked Elka if he had any idea where Oren might be headed. Elka, along with his subordinates, filled Theo in on the details. They explained how they'd encountered Oren, almost captured him, but then the Black Warrior had intervened, allowing Oren to flee. After hearing it all, Iona took charge, urging everyone to follow her. Theo's expression turned serious as he told her they were heading for Granny Village's mansion. The scene shifted to reveal the mansion, Oren's father's enormous estate. Inside, a massive black wolf warrior with six-pack abs stood, towering over the others. Old scars marred his left eye, and in front of him sat Oren's father, looking almost insignificant in comparison. The table before them was laden with food, yet no one was eating. A heavy silence filled the room. This giant black wolf was none other than Hegel, the Black Wolf clan's chief. Oren's father addressed him, noting with irritation that Harp, who should have brought Oren by now, was late. Oren's father remarked how he'd just heard that Oren had arrived on this floor. However, he also noted that several suspicious figures seemed to be following his son. That's why he'd called Hegel to ensure Oren's safety. He wondered aloud why Harp hadn't arrived with Oren and asked if he'd met Harp along the way. With a calm, almost dismissive tone, Hegel advised Oren's father to be patient. Hegel assured him that he hadn't sent a weak protector for Oren. Harp was his right-hand man, nearly equal in strength to Hegel himself. There was no reason to worry. Harp would be there with Oren soon enough. But before Oren's father could respond, Oren burst through the door, shouting his father's name. A mix of happiness and anger crossed his father's face as he approached Oren, demanding to know where he'd been and why he was shouting so loudly. He asked about Harp. Hadn't Harp accompanied Oren? But Oren, out of breath from running, didn't respond. Instead, he collapsed onto the floor, catching his breath and wailing. His father impatiently asked if Oren had at least brought food, noting that he seemed empty-handed and questioning if he'd stored the provisions in his magic bag. Still, Oren gave no answer. Instead, with an Oscar-worthy level of drama, he clutched his father's clothes, wailing as if someone had wronged him deeply. With an over-the-top sob story, Oren claimed he'd been scammed by a goblin when he'd gone to the merchant village for food. According to Oren, it was all Theo's fault. The goblin had been Theo's accomplice in this scheme to rob him of his money. Oren's father was taken aback, genuinely shocked by this accusation. In his experience, Theo had always seemed like a kind, honest individual, incapable of such deceit. Doubt crept into his mind as he wondered aloud if Oren might be mistaken. Theo, as he remembered, was Oren's childhood friend, the innocent yellow cat who'd once played with him. Could it be that Theo had somehow changed? A bit flustered, Oren realized his father wasn't fully buying the story, so he doubled down, insisting that Theo was far from innocent. Theo, he claimed, was a demon in disguise, an evil mastermind. He even spun an elaborate tale about how Theo had hordes of food, but refused to give any of it to the starving villagers. In fact, Oren claimed he'd spent all his own money to buy food from Theo for the village. And not only that, Theo, he said, had threatened his life, forcing him to sign a lifelong servitude contract. As if that weren't enough, Oren continued, explaining that Theo had a human ally who called himself a great black dragon, though he clearly lacked wings, horns, or any actual dragon-like traits. According to Oren, the duo even had the rabbit race under their control, using threats to enforce contracts of slavery. Finally, Oren demanded justice from his father, urging him to do something to destroy. Hegel, who'd been listening from the back, couldn't stand to hear more. As a staunch believer in justice and hater of all things evil, his blood boiled. With a furious growl, he slammed his paw down, splintering the table in front of him. Oren and his father froze in terror, taken aback by Hegel's sudden display of anger. After a tense moment, Hegel slowly lifts his fist from the shattered table, seething with rage. He turns to Oren and demands, "What Oren is telling him, it's true, right? Oren ain't lying to him." Meanwhile, Oren's father lies in shock on the ground, and Oren himself, also stunned, is silent as he sits on the floor. With fury brewing, Hegel rises on two legs, fists clenched, and shouts in a booming voice, pretending to be the great black dragon. Scamming, enslaving others. This is a crime that can only be punished by death. He declares he won't let that white t-shirt human and Theo live. He's gonna kill them both badly. Hegel's eyes glow with an intense fiery red, and Oren takes this moment to fuel Hegel's rage with more lies, entering his Oscar-level acting mode. Oren, in his best dramatic voice, begins, "Oh, Hegel, it's all true. That human in the white t-shirt claims to be the great black dragon. He uses that title to scare and control everyone." And in his mind, Oren marvels at his own genius. This massive beast, Hegel, leader of the Black Warrior Wolves, a clan famous for its strength in battle and devout worship of the Great Black Dragon, was the perfect pawn. If anyone insulted the Great Black Dragon, Hegel would come charging with a vengeance. Theo and the human, they wouldn't stand a chance. Seizing the moment, Oren falls dramatically to the floor, kneels and cries, his voice trembling. "Theo and the human in white have made my life a misery. They insult the great black dragon. Oh, Hegel, please, go punish them. They deserve it." Hegel listens, stone-faced, his massive figure looming like a mountain. Then he rises, towering over Oren and his father, who seem like mere ants next to him. With a voice dripping with menace, Hegel commands Oren to guide him to Theo and that wretched white t-shirt human. He vows to punish them. Inside, Oren is elated, but suddenly a servant appears, interrupting the scene, and announces, "Oren, there are some folks outside. They're yelling your name real loud. 5 of them. 3 silver wolves, a cat, and a hamster." Realization hits Oren like a slap. Theo has come for him, and a smug grin spreads across his face. This couldn't be more perfect. He quickly turns to his father and declares, "Those are the same folks who harassed him. They trapped him in that awful contract and made him their slave." Then, with a glint of excitement, he asks his father about a mysterious item stored in the warehouse. "Is that item still there?" he inquires. Though puzzled, Oren's father confirms, "Yeah, but why do Oren need it?" Oren simply grins, an evil, plotting grin, thinking, now this is gonna be fun. Outside the mansion, Theo, the Silver Wolves, Iona, and the rest stand around, impatiently waiting. Theo's irritation starts to bubble over as he calls out for Oren, "Hey, we've been calling and nobody's even come to greet us!" He's about ready to turn away when Elka suggests, "Hey, why don't they just barge in?" Theo, though irritated, hesitates. He may be mad, but he is not rude enough to just bust into someone's house like that. But Elka argues back, for someone who's a crook and a scammer like him, Theo is too nice for his own good. Before the argument escalates, the mansion doors creak open and out steps Oren, dressed in a white t-shirt, looking every bit the smug royal cat. With a smirk plastered on his face, he sneers at the group waiting outside and mocks them, calling them scum, low-level trash, and worthless cows. With contempt, he asks, "What do you want with me in front of my mansion? If you're looking for charity, come back in the afternoon. That's when I hand out money to the poor." But Theo, cool as ever, brushes off Oren's taunt. "First of all," he says, "this ain't even your mansion, Oren. It's your dad's." Theo gives him a hard stare. "So why are you calling it yours?" Oren's face contorts with irritation, his composure cracking. Gritting his teeth, he retorts, "This mansion is mine, or will be in the future. Same thing." Oren, now full of fire, points an accusing finger right at Theo, saying, "For so long, Theo treated him like a slave, and well, this is his place, his mansion, and Theo can't treat him like that here." Meanwhile, Theo, Alka, and Iona stand back, watching Oren's outburst with growing annoyance. Finally, Theo decides he's had enough. "Listen," he says, his voice cutting through Oren's rant. No matter how much Oren screams or whines, they both know he signed the contract, and as long as he did, he has to work for Theo. As his intern, Theo's words come with a stern reminder. "You're gonna listen to every single thing I tell you." Iona chimes in, smirking as Theo flips open his status window. "Listen up, Oren," he says. "I've been patient, real patient, but my patience is running out." He glares at Oren, saying, "If he doesn't come down here right now and get to the 99th floor with Theo, he'll be adding another 30 days to that contract." Oren's face flushes with fury. He screams, almost at the top of his lungs, but his bravado starts to wane as his behavior takes a sudden shift. A thin line of sweat appears on his forehead, and he nervously asks, Theo, mind if I see that contract again?" Theo gives him a look. "Oren, you have a copy too. It's in your status window. Just open it if you want to see it." he explains. But Oren hesitates, mumbling that he thinks there might be a mistake in the contract. Maybe we should compare them, he suggests, just to make sure it's correct. As Oren talks, he slowly descends the stairs, keeping something clenched in his left hand, hidden from view. He edges closer, his face set in a mask of nervous excitement. But Theo, focused on the status window, doesn't notice. "Fine," Theo says, opening his status window and beckoning Oren over. "Check it and then get ready to head to the 99th floor with me." Just as Oren comes within arm's reach, he suddenly brings his hidden hand forward, revealing a small bottle filled with a glowing green liquid. He pops the cork behind his back, the sound faint but enough to alert Alka, who shouts out a warning. "Theo, watch out!" Theo snaps around, but he's just a beat too late. Oren lunges, splashing the mysterious acid green liquid right at Theo. The mysterious green liquid is just about to hit Theo when, bam! A mysterious blue shield suddenly appears in front of him. Theo thinks, is that an acid attack? He closes his eyes, bracing for the worst. But when he slowly opens them, he realizes that this strange blue shield has saved him from the green acid attack. On the other side, Oren's jaw drops. He's stunned, confused, and honestly pretty damn worried. There's this round, spherical barrier around Theo, and the green liquid is just stuck to it, unable to get through. Oren's just standing there, mouth wide open, thinking, what the hell is that thing? Meanwhile, Theo's fuming. He yells at Oren, what the heck is going on here? That blue barrier? Turns out it's a water barrier. And Theo, he hates water. He's convinced that Oren must have made that thing, and he shouts, why'd you put this water barrier around me, huh? Oren is just as confused, though. He didn't make any barrier, let alone a blue water one. He's just as lost. But then suddenly Oren's eyes go wide. Something's coming, and fast. He looks up and immediately dodges back just in time because Elka, oh, he is pissed. Elka's furious, like a human trying to squash a mosquito. She slams his foot on the ground right where Oren's standing. Oren barely dodges her attack. He knows if he'd been a second slower, he'd have been squished like a bug. He jumps so hard he ends up tumbling 3 times before crashing to the ground, his head slightly injured. Slowly, Oren opens his eyes, trying to figure out how his entire mission got so screwed. He looks up, and there's Iona, standing right there with a green-colored acid bottle in her hand. She stares at Oren and asks, is this a contract nullification potion, right? Where did he even get something this rare? She goes on to explain, this thing, when sprinkled on the opposite status window, will cancel the contract. If Oren had something this valuable, it's a real shame he just lost it like that. Oren can't even process it. He had this amazing potion, and he wasted it, couldn't even use it. Elka and Theo? They're both on another level of furious. Elka glares at Oren and threatens, if Ren start another problem, he will really squeeze Ren into the ground and crush him. Theo's right there with him, adding, he is extending his damn contract by another 120 days. But Oren's had enough. He snaps at Elka. Shut up! He's beyond frustrated. He knew, 110% knew, that his plan would work. As soon as he used that potion on Theo, the contract would be gone, and then Hegel would show up, defeat Theo, and solve all his problems. But nope. Plan flop. Who the hell made this blue water barrier? Oren's racking his brain, but we all know it's gotta be Iona. She's the only one who could pull that off. And then, ding ding, an idea hits Oren like a lightning bolt. Iona is standing right there. So what does he do? He grabs her by the collar, yanks her in close. His razor-sharp claws come out and he holds them right to her neck, eyes blazing with a new plan. He threatens everyone. Nobody move! If any of you make a move, slit Iona's throat right here! He turns to Theo, saying if Theo want his girl to live, cancel the contract. Now! He pulls her in closer, claws pressing against her skin. Cancel it and he will let her go. Refuse! And she dies! Theo, trapped inside that water barrier, is boiling with rage. He wants to save her, but the damn barrier, he can't do anything. He's just stuck there, fuming. Theo's shouting his lungs out over and over. Open the damn water barrier! I can't get out of here! But no one's helping him. Meanwhile, Elka's there, and he knows Oren's messed up big time. He's grabbed the wrong person. Oren thinks Iona is the weakest link here, but if she gets pissed off, man, she could end everyone in this room right here, right now. But Oren, he's clueless. Elka tries to give him a warning, trying to tell him, hey, you don't know what you're messing with. But Oren's not having it, yelling back, everyone shut up! He whips out one of his sharp claws, pressing it real close to Iona's neck. If anyone opens their mouth, he swear he'll kill her right here. And Theo, better cancel this contract or she's done. Oren's got no chill, screaming at the top of his lungs for Hegel to come out. Come out here and show these people what's what! Meanwhile, Iona, she's just sitting on Oran's lap, as calm as a baby taking a nap, not a hint of fear on her face. But Theo, Elka, and even Silverwolf are all looking tense as hell. They're thinking, man, if Iona gets pissed, things could get ugly. 5 minutes go by and there's still no sign of Hegel coming out from the mansion. It's weird. Even Oran is looking confused now. He's sweating, thinking, where the hell is he? I've called his name 1,000,000 times. Why isn't he coming out? Asterisk, asterisk. Suddenly, Iona speaks up. In her calm voice, she says, if you're talking about Black Warrior Wolf Hijal, he ain't coming here. Not today, not ever. Oran hears her, and he's lost. What is this tiny little hamster even talking about? Oran starts getting heated again. You're just a weak little hamster. Sit down, stay still, or else... But before Oran can even finish that threat, his body just freezes, locks up completely. He can't move a muscle. He can't even speak. He's standing there, realizing his energy's draining out of his body. Iona slowly gets off Oran's lap, no rush at all, and looks at him with this chilling calmness. You won't be moving or talking anytime soon, my friend, she says, because I've paralyzed your entire body. She bends down, picks up her magic wand, and continues, you really thought I was just some weak hamster because I'm short? Well, you've made a huge mistake, my dude. Oran's standing there, paralyzed, and he can't process a damn thing that's happening to him. Next thing you know, Iona's pissed, like eyes glowing purple pissed. She steps right up to Oran, glaring, and introduces herself. My name is Iona, the Great Wizard, president of the Wizard Association. She's got her staff right up against Oran's neck now, and she's not playing. You pissed me off, Oran, and you know what? That's gonna cost you with your life! Oran's freaking out inside, mouth hanging open in shock. How is this supposed weak hamster a great wizard? And if she's such a powerful wizard, why is she even with Theo? What's Theo's deal? First, he's got a great black dragon, now a great wizard. What's going on here? Theo and Silverwolf are in the back, just watching this whole scene go down. Theo's actually kind of enjoying himself. He crosses his arms, leans back inside his water barrier, and says with a smirk, this place is cozier than I thought. And that's where this episode ends. If you want to see what happens next, don't forget to smash that 5,000 like goal. Hit subscribe if you're new and drop soya sauce in the comments below. Peace out.